Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanang Namaskritva Narang Chaiva Narottamam Deving Saraswating Vyasang Tata Jaya Mudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Avadreshu Nityang Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nastiki. So reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 16. Chapter is entitled Kṛṣṇa chastises the serpent Kaliya. Today we will be reading from text 20 to 22. So text 20 and 21 has no purport. That's why I will read those verses, then we will chant together text number 22. Text 20. Goppanadukta manasa bhagavati anante tatsahida smrita vilaka gira smaranta graste ahena priyatmane vrisha dukkha tapta sunyam priya vaiti hritam dadrastrilokam. Translation. When the young gopis, whose minds were constantly attached to Kṛṣṇa, the unlimited Supreme Lord, saw that he was now within the grips of the serpent, they remembered his loving friendship, his smiling glances, and his talks with them. Burning with great sorrow, they saw the entire universe as void. Text 21. Ta kṛṣṇamataram apattam anupravishtam tulya vyatha samugraha sucha sravantya tasta braja priya katha antya asan Kṛṣṇāne arpita drisha mritaka patika. Translation. Although the elder gopis were feeling just as much distress as she and were pouring forth a flood of sorrowful tears, they had to forcibly hold back Kṛṣṇa's mother, whose consciousness was totally absorbed in her son. Standing like corpses with their eyes fixed upon his face, these gopis each took turns recounting the pastimes of the darling of Braja. Text 22, we will chant together. kṛṣṇa-prāṇān nirviśato nandādīn vīkṣyatam hradam pratyaṣedhat sa bhagavān rāmaḥ kṛṣṇānubhāva-vit kṛṣṇa-prāṇān nirviśato nandādīn vīkṣyatam hradam pratyaṣedhat sa bhagavān rāmaḥ kṛṣṇānubhāva-vit kṛṣṇa-prāṇān nirviśato nandādīn vīkṣyatam hradam pratyaṣedhat sa bhagavān rāmaḥ kṛṣṇānubhāva-vit Kṛṣṇa-prāṇān, the man whose very life and soul was Kṛṣṇa. Nirviśataḥ, entering. Nanda-ādīn, headed by Nanda Mahārāja. Vīkṣya, seeing. Tam, that. hradam, lake. Pratyaṣedhat, forbade. Sa, he. Bhagavān, the all-powerful Lord. Rāmaḥ, Balarāma. Kṛṣṇa, of Lord Kṛṣṇa. Anubhāva, the power. Vit, knowing well. Translation and purport by the disciple of His Divine Grace, Sri Bhakti-Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Lord Balarāma then saw that Nanda Mahārāja and the other cowherd men who had dedicated their very lives to Kṛṣṇa were beginning to enter the serpent's lake. As the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Balarāma fully knew Lord Kṛṣṇa's actual power, and therefore he restrained them. Purport. Srila Sanatana Goswami explains that Lord Balarāma checked some of the cowherd men by speaking to them, others by physically holding them, and still others by casting upon them his potent smiling glance. Distraught over the situation, they are prepared to give up their lives for Lord Kṛṣṇa by entering the serpent's lake. Mukam karati vachalam pangullanghaite giring jat kripa tamaham vande Sri Gurudinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya. Hare Krishna. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, chapter 16. So in this chapter, the chastisement of Kaliya by Kṛṣṇa has been explained. So today's verses talk about the emotions, the mood, rather the love for Kṛṣṇa by the Brajavasis. We are the Gauriya Vaishnavas, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu advented in this material world in order to give that Braja Prema Bhakti, especially the gopis' love for Kṛṣṇa. Anarpita charing chirat karunaya vatirna kalau samarpayitum unnatujjala rasang sabhakti shriyam Hari Purata Sundara Duti Kadamba Sandipita Sada Hidaya Kandare Spuratuba Sachinandana. Sachidandan Gaur Hari, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, appeared to give Braja Prema Bhakti. And especially the gopis' love for Kṛṣṇa. Because Mahaprabhu's teaching is very, very clear, and his teaching gives us the topmost thing to all of us. Aradha bhagavān brajasatanayo tadhama vrindavanam rāmaḥ upasana brajabudhu vargena jakalpita Srimad Bhagavatam pramanamamalam premapumartha mahan Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhur matamidam tatradara naparaha. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this verse is telling us the topmost thing which he has given to all of us. So he has given the Lord. Who is that Lord? Brajasatanaya, Brajananandan Kṛṣṇa. And he has given the dham, the topmost dham, Vrindavan dham. Tad dhama Vrindavanam. And he also has given the purpose of our life, love of Godhead. Not only love of Godhead, the love of Godhead exhibited by the Brajavasis, especially the gopis. Rāmaḥ upasana brajabudhu vargena jakalpita. The ways gopis worship Kṛṣṇa is the topmost worship. And what is the pramana? Because everything has to be backed up by Shastra. If we talk something which is not backed by Shastra, should not be taken seriously. So what is the proof? Proof is Srimad Bhagavatam, the spotless Purana, Srimad Bhagavatam, Pramanamamalam. And Prema Pumartha Mahan. He has given Pancham Purusartha, the topmost goal of human form of life, that is love of God. So this is the conclusion of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings. So here in this section of Srimad Bhagavatam, Kṛṣṇa is trying to show the whole world that how compassionate he is. His compassion is shown in different ways to the devotees and to the demons. Krishna says in Bhagavad-Gita that he comes to this material world in every juga to perform three things. Paritrāṇaya sadhunam vināṣaya ca duṣkritam dharma samasthapanarthāya sambhavami juge juge. So he comes into this material world to protect the devotees, to annihilate the demons, and to establish the principle of religion. But some may question, why is the need for Krishna to come to kill the demons? Killing someone is not a big thing. A simple virus can create a havoc in the world. So what's the point of Krishna coming to kill demons? There is no need. The energy of Krishna is more than sufficient to kill all kinds of demons in this material world. But why he comes? When Krishna comes and kills the demons become purified. And demons also enter into the spiritual world. That is the significant purpose of Krishna's coming to this material world and killing the demons. So Putana was killed. But generally we see when demons are killed, they get Brahmajyoti, Sayuja Mukti. But Putana did not get Sayuja Mukti. He entered into the spiritual world as motherly nurse in Goloka Vrindavan. So then devotees may be discouraged. So demons are entering into the spiritual world. So why you should become devotees? And Narad Muni is explaining in 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam that the intensity of Krishna consciousness of the demons is much more than the intensity of Krishna consciousness of the devotees. It means demons are more Krishna conscious than devotees. So, the demons are entering into the spiritual world by being killed by Krishna. And also, they are much more Krishna conscious than devotees. Right? Then by reading all these statements, those who are practicing Krishna consciousness in a favorable way, means being a devotee, they will be discouraged. They may start thinking better to be demons. But Rupa Goswami is telling very nicely in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu that devotees should not be discouraged. The position the devotees can get in the spiritual world, demons cannot get. Even if Putana became the nurse and got the position of a mother, but she cannot experience the affection of the mother like Mother Jasoda. They can get some glimpse of that. Just like a Brahmajyoti type experience. Although they are in the spiritual world, but they cannot experience the affection, they cannot experience the bhava, they cannot experience the love which the devotees experience in the spiritual world. That is the difference between demons entering into the spiritual world and devotees entering into the spiritual world. That is the difference. So that's why Rupa Goswami is giving a lot of encouragement to the devotees. That's why he has defined bhakti, anna bhilasita sunyam jnana karmadi anavritam anukulyana krishnanusilanam bhakti ruttama. Anukulya, the favorable mood is very, very important in order to be included in the category of bhakti. The aspect, very, very important aspect. So here, the love of the Brajavasis are explained in these 3 verses. Firstly, the young gopis, then elderly gopis, then elderly gopas. Because young gopas, those who are there with Krishna, they are already unconscious. By seeing the situation of Krishna being coiled by Kaliya, So he was unconscious. They are all unconscious. So Brajavasi's bhakti are explained by Rupa Goswami also in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu as Ragatmika bhakti. While Rupa Goswami was talking about Raganuga bhakti, he said that who follows Ragatmika bhakti, he is a Raganuga bhakta. So then, in order to understand Raganuga bhakti, Rupa Goswami says that we have to understand Ragatmika bhakti. And Ragatmika bhakti is the bhakti of the Brajavasis. Brajavasis in Goloka Vrindavan, the eternal associates of Krishna and Vrindavan. And what is the symptom of that love? Rupa Goswami explains beautifully. The primary characteristics of the love of the Brajavasis is they have spontaneous attraction. It's called raga. Raga means what? Spontaneous thirst for Krishna, who is the object of love. Spontaneous, deep thirst. The words used by Rupa Goswami. Spontaneous, deep thirst for the object of love. That is a symptom of Ragatmika bhakti. If someone is very thirsty, what will come to his remembrance? Water. If someone is thirsty for Krishna, what will be the remembrance? Krishna. So what is the outcome of that spontaneous deep thirst? Deep absorption in the thought of Krishna. That is a symptom of Ragatmika bhakti. They are completely absorbed in the thought of Krishna. Continuous. That's why Prabhupada says, in order to experience the bhava, in order to experience prema, we have to establish ourselves at the level of nishtha. Unless we establish ourselves at the level of nishtha, there is no possibility to experience Raganuga bhakti. There is no possibility to experience bhava and prema. So nishtha is the foundation. And what is the symptom of nishtha bhakti? That is explained in the third verse of Sikkhastakam. Trinadupi sunichena taradupi sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. Sadahari, continuous. In all condition, bhakti cannot stop. That is the platform of nishtha bhakti. That is also explained in Srimad Bhagavatam. Ahoituki apratihata. Sabui pungsha paro dharma jato bhakti radaksaje. Ahoituki apratihata jayatmasu prasidati. So that is a platform one has to come to. Otherwise, it's not possible. Actually, bhakti does not begin unless and until someone comes to the level of nishtha. That's why Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that from Shraddha to Anartha Nivriti is Kanishta platform. Then he says Nishtha is Madhyama platform, and from Ruchi to Prema is Uttama platform. So unless and until someone is at the level of Nishtha, is very difficult to understand or experience the higher aspect of bhakti. So coming back to the discussion on the Brajavasi's love, we always talk Braja Prema Bhakti, Braja Prema Bhakti. What is that? Braja Prema Bhakti means they have the spontaneous, deep thirst for the object of love, who is Krishna. And that is exhibited by continuous, deep absorption in the thought of Krishna. That is the situation of Brajavasis. But Krishna is very, very merciful. Krishna says that I protect my devotees. He declares in Bhagavad-Gita, Name bhakta pranashati. My devotees will never perish. So what does that mean? That devotees will not die in this material world or what? People start thinking like that. If you practice devotional service, then you will not die. Because Krishna told he will be protected. But we have to understand the deep meaning of this verse. Krishna protects the pure devotional aspect of the devotee. His pure devotional consciousness will be protected. And Krishna will make sure that the devotee progresses in Krishna consciousness. His intensity of Krishna consciousness increases. When Krishna does that, when someone is surrendered to Krishna. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam saranang braja aham tvam sarva papebhya mokshasami masuchaha. When someone surrenders his life to Krishna, then Krishna takes control of the devotee. But for that we have to do our part. We have to surrender ourselves. We have to give the control of our life to Krishna. When we give the control of our life to Krishna, then Krishna takes control. That's why Bhaktivinoda Thakur sings, Saranga Saranagati hoibe jahar, tahar parthana sune Sri Nanda Kumar. We may pray to Krishna, but our prayers will be heard when someone is at the platform of full surrender. Saranga Saranagati. All the 6 aspects of surrender have to be exhibited. And that is achieved. Saranagati is complete at the level of ruchi. When someone achieves the level of ruchi, that time Saranagati is complete. But still at that level of ruchi, still at the level of Saranagati, full Saranagati, there are some subtle desires. It's not completely pure. So Krishna wants to purify that subtle desire. How? By giving him trouble. That is the process of purification. So whether we are Krishna conscious or not, whether we are fully surrendered or not, trouble will be there in our life. That is the understanding we should have. That is a clear understanding of Shastra. This world is the world of miseries. This world is the world of suffering. This is the world of anxiety. Here the Brajavasis are in anxiety. Then people may think, what is the use to being a devotee? They are in anxiety. Actually, the Brajavasis were in a much more peaceful condition before Krishna appeared. Because before Krishna appeared, Kamsa was in inactive mode. As soon as Krishna appeared, Kamsa became active. So in the same way, when Krishna appears in our life, through devotional service, demons also will become very active. You have to understand. And more we advance in Krishna consciousness, disturbance will be more. That is the science of Krishna consciousness. And through this pastime, Krishna is showing. So Krishna wants to deliver Kaliya. That is one aspect. Another aspect is Krishna wants to show the glories of Brajavasis. And also Krishna wants to intensify the love of the Brajavasis through this pastime. Although the love of the Brajavasis is unlimited, but Krishna is not happy with that. Krishna wants to intensify that love also. That is the position of Krishna. He wants to experience the topmost thing. Krishna is unlimited. The love of the Brajavasis is also unlimited. Still Krishna wants to magnify that love of the Brajavasis by giving them anxiety. So here, by seeing Krishna in that miserable condition externally, the Brajavasis were in anxiety. Deep anxiety. Not only anxiety, they are in also grief. They are also in fear. These are all material qualities. All the conditioned souls also experience that. But the grief, the lamentation, the fear, the anxiety of the Brajavasis were at the transcendental platform. Why? Because that was connected with Krishna. They are not in anxiety for themselves. As soon as the bad omen was visible to them, on the earth, on the air, on their bodies, What they thought? Something wrong might have happened to Krishna. That is Krishna consciousness. That's why Prabhupada said we have to learn how to spiritualize everything. So Krishna is showing us how to spiritualize anxiety. In this world, we are always in anxiety, right? What will happen? What will happen? Even the devotees also ask, Prabhu, what will happen? So Krishna says in Bhagavad-Gita, what will happen? Jatasya hi dhruva mittur. Dhruvang janma mitasya cha. Those who have taken birth, what will happen? They will die. And those who are dead, what will happen to them? They will take birth. But Prabhu, that's okay, but between birth and death, that is the main problem. So in between birth and death also, old age and disease. Janma mittu jara vyadhi dukkha dosanu darshanam. That is the life. Anxiety. Why anxiety? What is the root cause of anxiety? Root cause of anxiety is the tendency to control. We like to control. Because Krishna is the supreme controller, and being part and parcel of Krishna, we like to be controller. And as long as we have that mentality, as long as we have that tendency to control, we cannot have anxiety-free life. So how we can achieve anxiety-free life? Give the control of our life to Krishna. That is the symptom of Saranagati. Bhaktivinoda Thakur sings, Rakho bhi maro bhi jo ichha tuhara. Whatever you do, whether you keep me alive, you make me dead, I have no problem. It's your call. Aslishava padaratang pinostumang adarsanang marmatang karatuba jatha tatava vidadhatu lampato mat prananasastu savavana paraha. Whatever you do, my dear Lord, it's your free will. I am your servant. Whatever you like to do, I am okay with that. That is the meaning of giving control of our life to Krishna. It's not a talk only. This is the science of giving control. And if you don't give control, no problem. Then lead a life of anxiety. So now, when Krishna takes control, Krishna is in anxiety. And when we are in control, we are in anxiety. So now we should choose. Then Brajavasis, there is a higher platform. So Krishna consciousness means to give control of our life to Krishna. Pandavas, their life in externally in, there are so many, they are facing so many troubles, one after another. In Kali Yuga, if you get a little bit trouble, Prabhu, very difficult to practice Krishna consciousness. Why? Trouble. So read the life of Pandavas. I think if it happens, one of that in our life, we will all run away from Krishna consciousness. So, they are in difficulty. They are fighting the war of Kurukshetra. Daytime fighting with the relatives, and evening time they are having fun. No problem. So Bhishma Pitama took a vow that he will kill the Pandavas. And that news came to Krishna. So vow of Bhishma is very powerful. Everybody knows that. So Krishna was in anxiety what to do. Then he went to the camp of the Pandavas. Pandavas were very happily enjoying their life, evening time. So when they said, oh, you are so happy, you don't know, you did not get the news. He said, what is the news? The news is that Bhishma Pitama is going to kill all of you tomorrow. He said, oh, great. Every day we go to the battlefield knowing that we will be dead. But great news is that we will be killed by Bhishma Pitama. It's a glorious death. Thank you very much for your wonderful message. See you tomorrow. Hare Krishna. So, by seeing their relaxed mood, Krishna was in more anxiety now. What to do? Because Pandavas have to be protected. In order to establish Dharma, Pandavas have to be protected. Because he will establish Dharma through Pandavas only. So he was thinking what to do. Then he went to the camp of Draupadi. And Draupadi was requested by Krishna to accompany him to the camp of Bhishma Pitama. So night time, Bhishma Pitama was there in his camp and he saw Krishna is coming with Draupadi. So he thought something is going to happen. So Draupadi says, what I have to do? He said, you don't have to do anything. You just offer pranams and ask for blessings. That's it. Rest, I'll take care. So immediately, when Draupadi saw Bhishma Pitama, she offered obeisances. And as a tradition, as a culture, as a custom, Bhishma Pitama gave her the blessings. Saubhagyavati Bhava. And as soon as Bhishma Pitama gave that blessings, Krishna started smiling. And Krishna told Bhishma Pitama that I heard you took some vow today. So Bhishma Pitama understood the indication and desire of Krishna. In that way, Pandavas were protected. So if Krishna is protecting someone, who can kill them? And even if he is killed, devotee is killed, they never die, devotees never die. Because Prabhupada said when he went to Mayapur Dham and he was drinking water, he said, living in Mayapur and dying in Mayapur is same. When you live in Mayapur, you are living in Vaikuntha, and when you die in Mayapur, you go back to Godhead. So for a devotee, living and dying is the same. That's why devotees never die. Parikshit Maharaj, he was protected in the womb, right? He was protected in the womb. But same Parikshit Maharaj was cursed to die in 7 days. Completely opposite. But both the cases, Krishna is protecting Parikshit Maharaj. But we have to understand that. To understand the protection of Krishna, we have to be completely surrendered. So here, Kaliya will be delivered. How? Krishna generally protects, Krishna generally delivers in different ways. So here Krishna wants to deliver Kaliya by embracing. Krishna delivered Putana by embracing Putana. But here, Krishna is not embracing Kaliya. Here, Kaliya is embracing Krishna. So whether Krishna embraces someone or someone embraces Krishna, they will be delivered. There is the power of Krishna's embrace. Mahaprabhu also did that. While Mahaprabhu was traveling from Jagannath Puri to South India, he was chanting and dancing. By seeing the beautiful form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, people were attracted. Because that is the weapon of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. According to Jiva Goswami, that weapon of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is his wonderful beauty. So when they saw the beautiful form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Mahaprabhu also encouraged them to chant Hari Hari. Mahaprabhu what? He encouraged them, chant Hari Hari. Please chant Hari Hari. So when they chanted Hari Hari, Mahaprabhu was so happy, extremely happy by seeing that these people are chanting the holy name. And out of grateful heart, he embraced them. As soon as Mahaprabhu embraced them, they developed love of Godhead. No Mangala Arati, no Harinam Sankirtan, no Bhagavatam class, nothing. One embrace of Mahaprabhu was enough to give them love of Godhead. That is the power of embrace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Not only that, they went back to their own village and town. And when you develop love of Godhead, you behave little abnormal. We are all abnormal. But when someone develops love of Godhead, he becomes spiritually abnormal. Means sometimes he will laugh, sometimes he will cry, sometimes he will run, sometimes he will stand still. Like that. There are different symptoms of love of Godhead exhibited at the level of bhava and prema. So when they came back to their own place, people started thinking that they have become mad. Same thing happened to Mahaprabhu also. When Mahaprabhu came back from Gaya, he was mad in ecstasy. And people started talking that Nimai has become mad. And Mother Sachi started believing, yes, looks like my son has become mad. Because that is the effect of Nam Sankirtan. Because Prakasananda Saraswati, while he was talking to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Varanasi, he complained to Mahaprabhu that you are a sannyasi and you take sannyas from our sampradayas, but you don't study Vedanta. And how to talk about studying Vedanta? You don't come to us only, you avoid us. And what you do, instead of studying Vedanta, which is the primary duty of a sannyasi, you act like a sentimental person, singing and dancing on the street. And you are not singing and dancing alone, you are singing and dancing with thousands and thousands of devotees. What kind of sannyasi are you? It's a very good argument, no? Man Mahaprabhu took a very humble stand. Humility is the quality to be exhibited in order to conquer the heart of the people. So Mahaprabhu said, what can I do? When I took initiation, when my Guru gave me mantra, my Guru told me that you are a number one fool, which we all are, but we don't accept that. So Mahaprabhu accepted that, because that is the qualification of a disciple, to accept that I am a number one fool. When someone accepts that he is a number one fool, he can be a disciple. So Mahaprabhu said, my Guru told me that you are a number one fool and you don't have any right to study Vedanta. You have no qualification. And by telling that, he gave me a mantra. I don't know what kind of mantra he gave. Kiva mantra dila gosai, kiva tar bal, jopite mantra korila pagal. I don't know what kind of mantra my Guru gave, but whenever I chant that mantra, I become mad. And you know, there is no control over the madman. So what I am doing, I don't know, because as soon as I chant the holy name, I become mad in ecstasy. And after that, Mahaprabhu started explaining the deep subject matter of Vedanta Sutra. And they are amazed by the explanation of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And they all become the followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at Varanasi. So coming back to the point of embracing. So these devotees, they did not only become pure devotees, by their association, all the villages, they also started chanting Hari Hari, Hari Hari, and they also became pure devotees. The whole village became pure devotees. And by seeing that, the next village, they became interested, because people love to see interesting things. So when they saw these villagers are acting very differently, so some of them came from next village. And when they came, love of God is like a contagious disease, and they also developed love of Godhead. And they went back to their village, the whole village became Krishna conscious. And Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami explains in Chaitanya Charitamrita, in that way, village after village, town after town, city after city, whole South India became Krishna conscious. That is the power of embracing by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In the same way, here, Kaliya is embracing Krishna. So definitely, Kaliya will be delivered. So that is the merciful nature of Krishna. And here, also along with delivering Kaliya, Krishna wanted to show the glorious position of the Vrajavasis. When they heard, not only heard, they saw the ill omen or bad omen, inauspicious omen in their body, on the earth, in the air. Immediately, they started running towards Krishna. So where is Krishna? How do they know? They follow in the footsteps. The mark of Krishna's lotus feet is there on the dust of Brajabhumi. That is the way they know where is Krishna. In the same way, we also don't know where is Krishna. But when we follow in the footsteps of the previous acharyas, we can also understand where is Krishna and we can reach Krishna. So that is very, very important. Following in the footsteps of Krishna, following in the footsteps of the previous acharyas is a very, very important mindset and consciousness of a sadhaka in order to achieve Krishna prema, in order to have darshan of Kṛṣṇa in our life. So Kṛṣṇa was there in the Kaliya lake. So all the devotees came, and all 5 rasas, their devotees exhibiting 5 kinds of rasas, they are all there at the bank of the Kaliya lake. So that is one of the very important aspect of this pastime. The Santaras devotees are there also, Dasaras devotees are there also, Sakhyaras devotees are also there, Vatshalya and Madhurya, all of them are there. So what happened to the Madhurjamai gopis? They are experiencing the separation from Kṛṣṇa, and they are thinking the whole world is void. Jugaitam nimeshena chakshusha pabrisaitam sunnaitam jagat sarvam govinda virahenam. That is a symptom of the love of the gopis. One moment of separation is like a juga, and one juga of association is like a moment. That is a symptom of vipralamba bhav. And Mahaprabhu came to give that bhav, and that is the primary mood of Gauriya Vaishnava Parampara. So Mahaprabhu came to experience that love in separation. Mahaprabhu never said that Krishna is with me. The Goswamis never said that Krishna is with us. Hey Radhe, Brajadevi, Kecha, hey Nandas. Same mood. Where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? That is the mood of Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu is not able to see Krishna because Krishna came in front of Mahaprabhu in Kanai Narsala, and after giving darshan, Krishna disappeared. And Mahaprabhu was not able to find that Krishna. And from there, Mahaprabhu started exhibiting that mood of love in separation. And that mood was completely demonstrated while Mahaprabhu was in Jagannath Puri during last 6 years, rather 12 years, but more specifically last 6 years of his earthly pastime, he exhibited that mood of separation in Jagannath Puri. That's why Jagannath Puri is known as Vipralamba Kshetra. That is the place of experiencing separation. In Jagannath Puri, there are 2 personalities of Godhead, Kṛṣṇa in the form of Jagannath and Kṛṣṇa in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Kṛṣṇa in the form of Lord Jagannath is feeling the separation from Radharani, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the form of Kṛṣṇa is feeling separation from Kṛṣṇa. So in that way, 2 Kṛṣṇa are feeling separation, and they are experiencing that vipralamba bhav. That's why Mahaprabhu chose Jagannath Puri after taking sannyas to be the place of his headquarters in order to experience that bhav. Because Mahaprabhu came for 2 purposes. One purpose is external purpose, to distribute love of Godhead to anyone, everyone, and also to experience Radharani's love for Kṛṣṇa. That love of Brajavasis, the love of the gopis, that mood of separation from Kṛṣṇa. So Mahaprabhu wanted to experience that in Jagannath Puri Dham. So that is our parampara, and that mood was exhibited by the gopis here while Kṛṣṇa was performing the pastime of chastising Kaliya. So time is up. Thank you so much. Hare Kṛṣṇa, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Kṛṣṇa.
So the fear and anguish that the Vrindavan Vasis were feeling because of Krishna's difficult situation, they were fearful. So how do we differentiate if somebody is suffering fear? They say, oh, that's spiritual ecstasy. I mean, we would label it like that. But like when devotees, even in our early age stages of trying to perform some devotional service, when we're fearful or angry or envious, are these like transcendental symptoms, or when do they become transcendental?
That's why this kind of transcendental symptoms are exhibited externally. Rupa Goswami is giving a caution that external symptoms can be imitated. The bhava bhakti, the external symptoms, ashtasattika vikar, these 8 symptoms can be imitated by imitators, the cheaters also. Pseudo devotees, neophyte devotees, non-devotees. So in order to protect from this kind of cheating, Rupa Goswami is telling there are 9 real symptoms of bhava. When someone achieves bhava, these 9 symptoms have to be present. Abharta kalatam, chanti, there are 9 qualities or symptoms which are explained by Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu for a person who has achieved the level of bhava bhakti. So when someone has that, then his external symptoms should be taken seriously. Otherwise, this kind of external symptoms should not be taken seriously, because in Kali Yuga is a yuga of cheaters. So that tendency is always there. So we should not be so much concerned about that. That's why Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, our Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada has given a lot of warning to external imitation of higher level of bhakti. That emotions should be kept internal, and externally they should perform Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. Because if you don't do that, what will happen? So-called advanced devotees will cheat people. So in order to protect the future generation of devotees, our acharyas have given a lot of caution not to imitate externally the activities of Ragatmika Bhakta. That should be done internally. And externally, these 9 symptoms should be exhibited. That's my understanding. If Maharaj wants to enlighten. Any other question? Here, okay. Here is also.
Hare Krishna. Because you were saying that now when she went to spiritual world, she won't be experiencing the level of ecstasy as other motherly gopis.
What?
She won't be experiencing the level of ecstasy like other motherly gopis, especially Yashoda, because she was envious of the Lord in this material world.
Yes.
So, Guruji, we hear that when we all go to spiritual world, then the previous demarcations are all erased. And we our previous history of what we were in material world is how we became. So, if there are such differences in spiritual world,
there is also difference in the spiritual world. Everything is not one in the spiritual world. If you have that, then enter into Brahmajyoti. In the spiritual world, there is unlimited varieties. The bhava of the gopis, the bhava of the elderly gopis, the bhava of the friends of Krishna, bhava of the servants of Krishna, they are all different, but they are all perfect. They are all perfect, but there is also difference. That Putana achieved perfection, but the bhava what Jasodama and other motherly gopis experience, she cannot experience that. Okay, that is the difference.
and later on the lecture we talk about anxiety, and we get into anxiety because we try to control us. But then we see in spiritual management, devotees a lot of times get anxiety for any service. So is that anxiety due to our controversial or that because we want to serve the Lord?
You cannot judge externally, it depends on the consciousness. That's why Panchagurapu asked the question. That anxiety is a real spiritual anxiety or material anxiety, how to know? That's why we have to exhibit the level of signs, symptoms of bhava. If you are at the level of bhava and prema, then that anxiety will be spiritual anxiety. If you are not, then that will be material anxiety, or it can be a combination of both. It cannot be pure spiritual anxiety unless we achieve the level of bhava bhakti. Okay? No question? Okay.
I have a comment on that.
Okay.
The point is also about anxiety. We have to remember that the material world is Vaikuntha, which is full of anxiety. And our destination is to reach Vaikuntha, where there is no anxiety. So we do this by following the instructions of Srimad Bhagavatam, the previous acharyas, and absorbing their mood of worship of Lord Kṛṣṇa, and then we will, even in this material world, can enter into Vaikuntha. So Srila Prabhupada always said that you come to Vrindavan, you don't want to stay on the peripheral existence of Vrindavan, like all these people who come here. They don't come to Vrindavan, they come to this village. But if one enters into Vrindavan, then they're in Vaikuntha.
Yeah, but in order to enter into that Vrindavan, just like Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, even if we stay in Dham, if our consciousness is not spiritual, then we are also outside the periphery of Dham. We are under external covering. So in order to enter into Vrindavan Dham, we have to take the shelter of the internal potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We have to be Krishna conscious. Both, so many hands. Okay, quickly.
Like we are seeing Vatsalya is also Nanda Mahārāja and Yashoda Mata, both are there. But when we read from Bhagavatam and understand, then we see that the mothers show more bodily affection in that. Is there a difference between
What?
their Vatsalya of Nanda Mahārāja also is in Vatsalya and Yashoda Mata?
So, what's your question?
Is there a difference in their Vatsalya?
Yes, there is difference, there is no difference. The Vatshalya of Mother Jashoda is more intense than the Vatshalya of Nanda Mahārāja. Okay? Both are having Vatshalya, but intensity of Vatshalya of Mother Jashoda is more. Mother is more affectionate than the father. Okay?
Hare Krishna. My question was the 6 Goswamis, they have Krishna with them. They are always in contact with Krishna. They have their deities. There are some leelas in which they talk with Krishna, they play with Krishna. Then why they are searching for Krishna? Like He Radhe, Prajadevi Charita, you quoted. Why they are searching him? If he is already with them, they are chanting 192 rounds, and Krishna is in his name. Krishna is his name. What are the searching?
Yes, that's why it's known as Achintya. We are thinking in a material platform, but that is a spiritual platform. Just like in Prem Sarovar, Radharani was there next to Krishna. When Madhu Bangal said that Madhu has gone, Radharani started thinking Madhusudana has gone. Although Krishna is just next to her, she started thinking Krishna is not there. That is called Prema Vaichitti, one of the symptoms of love in separation. So that is the top level of experience. Although beloved is there, they will think that beloved is not there. That is the topmost, one of the topmost platform. We cannot understand. We only can talk. One day, maybe by the blessings of the gopis and Radharani, maybe we can get some glimpse of that. But as a sadhaka, we just should talk and try to meditate on that. I cannot explain that. Whatever acharyas have explained, I am just repeating. Okay? How it is okay?
He said I cannot understand. The point ends.
Okay. It's Achintya, yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, my question is that you said that the destination which Krishna awards to the demons, that is not the same which he awards to the devotees. So that is awarded to the devotees is much higher.
The destination can be same, but the bhava cannot be experienced by the demons.
So Prabhuji, can it be said that the demons, even when they go to the spiritual world, they are not completely glorified because they cannot experience that higher bhava?
Yeah, they should be glorified because they are in the spiritual world. But they cannot be, their glorification cannot supersede the glorification of the devotees. That is the point of Rupa Goswami.
Which I meant that be keep purified to the level of devotees even when they are in the spiritual world?
Yes, they are purified. But they cannot have that kind of bhav of the devotees, those who are doing bhakti. Okay? Rupa Goswami says they experience the Brahmajati aspect of bhakti in the spiritual world. They will not get that bhava, the real bhava of the devotees, even if they are in the spiritual world.
And Guruji, can they do bhakti there so as to elevate themselves to the level of the bhava of those devotees? So can they further elevate themselves?
I cannot say because acharyas have not told. Whatever Rupa Goswami has told, I have told. I cannot say something which Rupa Goswami has not told. Okay? Hare Krishna. Yes. We'll stop. Last one, time is up.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Prabhuji, my question is, you said when Krishna comes in our lives, demons come too. And yes, it does happen in our lives that whenever we try to embrace Krishna or to be on the path of Krishna consciousness, problems start coming to us. So, and many times we feel so much troubled that we end up giving up the rituals that we follow, whether it is chanting, reading, coming to lectures. So, what is it that what is it one important thing or several important points that you would mention that would help us, in keep progressing on the path of Krishna consciousness, despite all the troubles?
So Krishna will give trouble how much we can handle. Krishna knows more than us what we can handle, what we cannot handle. So don't be worried about that. Keep on doing bhakti in the association of devotees. Then if any problem comes, you will be protected by the devotees. So always stay in the association of devotees as a sadhaka. Then what will happen? Even if problems come, you will get the protection. Okay? Hare Krishna.